Although originally organized into task forces, some task forces were combined to form EEF command groups. These units were often responsible for defending major cities and installations. Like their task force counterparts, they are often formed by multiple nations. However, they are still larger, and in some cases being 6 times the size of a task force. Today I'll be covering Command Group 12. Command Group 12 was formed from 4 task force units under the flags of Belgium and the Netherlands. Each task force now forms a mixed combat unit, or MCU group, each being made up of 4 companies. The first MCU group in Command Group 12 is Nether Group. First company makes up half of the unit's command structure, as well as housing, security section, and artillery platoon section. First and second platoons are made up of a command vehicle and supply transports. The command vehicles are often operated by 3 crew members, a driver, gunner, and commander, with lieutenant colonel or captain in the back of the vehicle providing orders in the field. The vehicle itself is a modernized YPR-765 armored personnel carrier, with a command module placed in the back. The supply vehicles used are simply modifications of the YPR-765. Following up the command platoons are the security platoons, 2 platoons identical to each other in shape and structure, made up of 3 military police fire teams, 2 medium machine gun teams, and a short-range surface-to-air missile system each. Platoon serves as the artillery platoon, housing 3 M114 mass or M114 magnetic artillery systems, and 3 YPR-765 supply vehicles, supported by 2 reconnaissance squads. The final platoon within First Company is the reconnaissance platoon, being made up of more YPR-765 ARVs, aka the active reconnaissance vehicles, and supported by 2 reconnaissance fire teams. Although originally limited to 20 tanks, the command groups get access to up to 100 modernized Tier 2 tanks. Second Company has a total of 14 tanks, and 4 tank destroyers, made up of 1 armored command platoon, 2 tank platoons, and a tank destroyer platoon. The command platoon is commanded by a captain in a Leopard 2A4 Bravo model, while commanding 2 Leopard 2A4 Charlies and 2 Leopard 1A5 tanks. Second platoon is made up of 4 Leopard 2A4 Bravos and 2 Leopard 1A5 tanks. Third platoon, however, is made up of only 2 Leopard 2A4 Bravos and their Leopard 1 escorts. Fourth platoon is the tank destroyer platoon, which is made up of 4 YPR-765 tow carriers and 2 M113 CV ARVs. Fifth platoon is formed by a YPR ARV, supported by 2 reconnaissance fire teams. Sixth platoon is a heavy reconnaissance unit, made up of 2 more recon fire teams, a medium machine gun team, and a tow missile launcher. With 3 infantry platoons, an engineer platoon, and 2 supporting platoons, Third Company is the largest company by manpower within the Nether Group. First platoon is made up of a mechanized command group led by a captain. It's supported by 2 heavy mechanized infantry squads and a medium machine gun. Second and third platoon are identical, being made up of a mechanized command group led by lieutenants, 3 light mechanized infantry squads, and a medium machine gun each. Fourth platoon is the engineering unit. Led by an engineer command team, it is made up of 3 sapper squads and a tow missile launcher. Fifth platoon is the company's personal supply unit, being a simple light mechanized squad escorting a tracked supply vehicle. And as if the company didn't already have enough firepower, they are given a AAA battery for 6th platoon, being made up of 4 40mm Bofors anti-aircraft cannons and a tracked supply vehicle. Air Command Alpha is made up of 5 groups, an anti-aircraft battery, identical to 3rd Company's of 6th platoon, followed by a final logistical group made up of 4 supply vehicles, and finally, the Air Wing. The Air Wing is made up of 3 squadrons. First squadron being made up of 3 F-16 advanced fighter jets equipped for air control. Second squadron is made up of 3 more F-16 advanced fighters equipped for bombing missions, with 3rd squadron being made up of 2 NF-5 advanced craft. And with that, I conclude Nether Group's breakdown. The next mobile combat unit in Command Group 12 is the Desert Rats. First Company houses the MCU's command structure, anti-aircraft network, and artillery battery. Similar to Nether Group, the first two platoons are command platoons. Each platoon operates a YPR-765 command vehicle and has 4 YA-4400 trucks to coordinate supply runs. Second and third platoon act as the mobile combat unit's anti-air network, with 4th platoon acting as anti-air reserves. The two primary anti-aircraft platoons are geared with 2 Hawk X SAM systems, supported by 2 40mm Bofors and 3 M55 50 caliber quad mounts. 5th platoon is equipped with a single 40mm Bofors, supported by a pair of quad mounts. 6th platoon hosts the mobile combat unit's artillery group in the form of 4 M114-39 long-range mass howitzers, which are supported by 4 more YA-4400 supply trucks. While not officially designated as a tank company, 2nd Company hosts a small fleet of tanks and 2 tank destroyer platoons. 1st platoon is made up of a Leopard 1 Vector command tank supported by 2 more Leopard 1 Vectors, and a squadron of 3 Centurion Mark V Generation 2 medium tanks. 2nd platoon is led by a Leopard 2A4 Bravo, supported by 3 Leopard 1 Vectors. 3rd platoon, being led by another Leopard 2A4 Bravo, commands 4 Centurion Mark V Generation 2 tanks. 4th and 5th platoons are identical, being made up of 2 YP-408 tow carriers and a YP-408 active reconnaissance vehicle. 6th platoon is a light armored reconnaissance platoon, being made up of M113 variants, with one M113 being a military police active reconnaissance vehicle supported by 2 squads of mechanized reconnaissance teams that utilize the M113 as their transport. Although made up of mostly reserve units, the Desert Rats Infantry Company is well equipped, well organized, and rather large. The smallest platoon is 1st Platoon. The platoon is made up of a M113 military police ARV, supporting another 2 mechanized reconnaissance squads. 2nd Platoon is made up of a heavy weapons platoon, having another M113 military police ARV for an escort, a tow missile launcher transported by a jeep, and a pair of 50 caliber quad mounts for a good measure. 3rd Platoon is a heavy weapons reconnaissance platoon, having 4 recon fire teams present with a tow missile launcher and a medium machine gun on standby. 4th Platoon is one of the largest platoons within the company. Led by a reservist command group, it is made up of 6 motorized rifle squads with a medium machine gun to support. To complement 4th Platoon stands the largest 2 platoons of the unit, being completely identical. Each platoon is made up of 6 armored motorized squads, 2 dedicated anti-armor squads, and a quad mount for each platoon. Also known as TAC, the Tactical Air Command Section is made up of elite infantry, gunships, and of course, the Air Wing, with the Desert Rats leaving a platoon of medium machine guns for defense against light assaults on whatever airbase the unit is stationed at. 1st Platoon is made up of 6 commandos, with 2 medium machine guns on hand to support the unit. The 2nd Platoon is made up of 2 AH-1X Hog gunships. 3rd Platoon forms TAC's Air Supremacy Squadron, made up of 3 F-16 advanced fighters, followed up by 4th Platoon being a unit of Suppression of Enemy Air Defense, or SEAD, being made up of 2 FX-4 Phantoms. 4th Platoon is the unit's close air support, housing a mix of F-16 advanced fighters and NF-5 advanced craft, both equipped for bombing missions, with the final platoon in the company being made up of medium machine guns. That being said, the Netherlands forces create about 50% of the Command Group 12. However, we are now moving on to the Belgian half of the MCUs. The first Belgian mobile combat unit is the Armored Wedge. Although not as well equipped as the Nether Group's tank section, it is still large, hosting 20 medium tanks and a squadron of tank destroyers. This company acts as the entire command group headquarters, hosting a mix of both nationalities' most experienced EEF units. The first 2 platoons are made up of a A1FV Bravo command vehicle, with 4 supply trucks directly under their command, with 2 M168 M1 magnetic Vulcans for platoon's air defense. To provide the armor wedge artillery support is 3rd Platoon, given 4 M109 mass self-propelled howitzers with 2 supply trucks and a Vulcan for protection against enemy air assets. The coordinated artillery strikes are the 4th and 5th Platoons. Both are identical with 2 UAVs, a Combat Reconnaissance Vehicle or CRV, scimitar, and 2 elite squads of electronic warfare scouts. To top off the already impressive array of specialized equipment are 2 A-109 tow gunships. The second company is the pride of Command Group 12 Armored Corps. Along with the unit's high reserve of Leopard variants, it also boasts Gepard Bravo 2's self-propelled anti-aircraft and a divided-up section of Cannon Jagdpanzer 90s. 1st Platoon and 2nd Platoon are made up of a Command Leopard 1 Bravo 5, directly commanding 3 Leopard 1 A5 Charlies and 4 Leopard 1 tanks. To support these 2 command platoons are 2 mobile gun platoons. Each NGPs are made up of 2 Leopard 1 tanks, 2 Cannon Jagdpanzer 90 MAGs or magnetic accelerated guns, protected by 2 Gepard Bravo 2s. 5th and 6th Platoon are made up of the companies reserved. 5th Platoon is equipped with the last Jagdpanzer and one of 6 Gepards, while 6th Company is made up of the remaining 5 Gepards and a pair of supporting supply trucks. To support the armored wedge's rapid and aggressive advances, the unit needs a mobile infantry unit to clear out where the tanks can't reach, resulting in 3rd Company. 1st Platoon is made up of Netherlands paratroopers, led by a light infantry command group commanding 4 squads of Fusiliers and 2 50 caliber M2 Brownings. 2nd and 3rd Platoon are built rather similar. 2nd Platoon is led by Mechanized Fusilier Command Group with 4 squads of Mechanized Fusiliers armed with medium anti-armor launchers. 3rd Platoon is about the same, only replacing medium launchers with light anti-armor weapons. 4th Platoon makes up the unit's Engineer Platoon. Led by a Pioneer command team, there are 5 heavy Pioneer squads and 2 50 cal machine guns under its command. 5th Platoon is simply made up of 5 Mechanized Fusiliers as the unit's reserved reinforcements. The wing is small and made up of 3 squadrons, with 3 F-16 advanced fighters equipped for air dominance. Meanwhile, the 2nd squadron is made up of 2 more F-16 advanced fighters with bomb payloads. The 3rd squadron is made up of 2 Mirage 5 Bravos with 4 800-pound bombs. With the armored wedge covered, the final MCU of Command Group 12 is the rear guard. The rear guard is lightly equipped and uses Tier 3 tanks along with heavy reserves. It lacks an organized air command structure in favor of organizing militia forces and reserved light armor platoons. Despite the role as the rear guard, the force is equipped with a decently sized anti-aircraft array. Using a collection of Altus command jeeps, there are 3 command teams who coordinate resistance and supplies. Platoons 1 through 3 are identical, being made up of a command jeep and 4 supply trucks. 4th and 5th platoons serve as a combat command platoon. Being commanded from a M75 armored command vehicle, the unit is equipped with AMX 13 million X tank destroyers and supported by reserve paratroopers. 6th platoon is the unit's artillery unit, equipped with 4 M44 mass self-propelled guns and 2 medium machine gun teams along with airborne supply transports. With the unit's infantry being made up of mostly reserves, Command was forced to put the units with the most training experience in charge. 1st Platoon is made up of a total of 8 military police squads, all supported by 2 medium machine gun teams. 2nd Platoon is made up of mixed combat units, being led by a reservist command team. The platoon is made up of 4 motorized rifle reserves, supported by 4 squads of combat engineers. 3rd and 4th Platoon is made up of the mechanized reserves. With a mechanized command squad at the front, the unit commands a total of 6 mechanized reserve rifle squads and are supported by 2 medium machine gun teams. The final 2 platoons are known as resistance platoons. 5th Platoon is formed by 4 Pioneers, 2 FN-4 Romeo armored cars, and 2 CRV Scorpion vehicles. 6th Platoon is smaller, but shares a similar structure. With reserve paratroopers leading the defense, they are supported by FN-4 Romeo armored cars and a CRV Scorpion. Made up of the majority anti-aircraft systems and armored vehicles, 3rd Company often has a high casualty rate due to the aggressive deployment of their dated Tier 3 tanks. 1st and 2nd platoons form resistance platoons, made up of a CRV Scorpion and 3 AMX-13 tank destroyers, supported by 4 motorized rifle squads. 3rd and 4th platoons are the unit's anti-aircraft network, made up of 2 Hawk X SAMs, 3 triple-barrel 20mm anti-aircraft artillery guns, and 4 supply trucks. The unit is able to put down fire on high and low altitude targets. 5th and 6th companies are made up of armored units, formed with 4 M41 Walker Bulldog advanced tanks and 5 M47 medium tanks. They are coordinated by a mechanized reconnaissance group. The first 2 platoons of 4th Company are Minutemen platoons, organized by 4 reservist reconnaissance squads. 2 full squads of Minutemen are gathered and equipped, with 2 medium machine gun teams left to support the unit. 3rd and 4th platoons are organized with loose armored vehicles, formed with 2 M41s and 2 FN4 Romeos. 5th platoon is the final fire support platoon within the unit, made up of a FN4 Romeo, and 2 medium machine guns. The final platoon is the final supply group of the entire unit, being made up of 5 airborne supply carriers and 4 supply trucks. During the Empire's first contact with the Sovereign Republic, the military-industrial heart of the Empire, Geonosius, came under attack from Hellenic Spartan Eza. During the battle, the Desert Rats and Nether Groups would be subject to intense fighting around the central factories with their newly refit magnetic cannon-armed tanks, while the Armored Wedge would be able to outmaneuver the Hellenic 44th Ancient Wraith Battalion. The rear guard would suffer heavy casualties resisting Hellenic-controlled banished companies. On that day, over 600 infantrymen were killed, with 45% of active tanks being destroyed, and the rear guard on the brink of destruction, with a 76% casualty rate.
Don't you miss me more than you know? Then jump in the water and kiss me. Penelope, I've told you this before.